Are you a student failing to pay attention in class? Do you feel like your brain is foggy at times? My name is Cesar Suarez,
And I'm Jake Yaffe.
and we are award-winning scientists from Amherst College who are going to tell you about our super drug called Brain Gains. It will help you increase your cognitive abilities, and we're going to show you how with a breakdown of our nootropic supplements inside our super drug. The four nootropic or smart drug supplements we will discuss are alpha GPC, L-theanine, caffeine, and American ginseng. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity to train your brain. We will outline the efficacy, safety, and mechanisms of each drug so you can decide if Brain Gains is right for you. The first nootropic supplement in our drug is alpha GPC. What is alpha GPC, you may ask? Alpha GPC is a choline compound that naturally occurs in the brain in several food sources, such as beef liver. That sounds appetizing. Although it occurs naturally within us, alpha GPC can also be synthesized from natural sources and made into a powder or a pill for dietary supplementation. So how does alpha GPC work, and why would we include it in our drug? To start, just remember that alpha GPC is a precursor to the essential neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Let's break the statement down to see exactly what this means. A precursor is a compound that participates in a chemical reaction that produces another compound. In your body and brain, the term precursor refers to a chemical compound preceding another in a metabolic pathway. A neurotransmitter is a broad term that refers to chemicals acting as information communicators. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that has a wide variety of functions in the brain and other organ systems of the body. It is known to play an important role in memory, learning, and focus, and is in an abnormally short supply in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. Because alpha GPC is a precursor to acetylcholine, alpha GPC administration increases the release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which facilitates learning, memory, and focus. As a result, alpha GPC supplementation could theoretically boost learning, motivation, and focus. But what does the research say about alpha GPC? There's a lot of research that suggests alpha GPC's increasing cognitive performance with those with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. For example, in a 2018 study by Gavrilovo et al., 50 patients with a mean age of 68 years received 3-month therapy with alpha GPC and a dose of 1,200 milligrams a day in 3 divided doses. The study's results showed that psychometric measures showed a significant improvement after treatment with alpha GPC. Furthermore, most indicators achieved at the end of the alpha GPC therapy course decreased 7 to 9 months after treatment. Still, the level of patients' cognitive functioning remained higher than before treatment. While research on alpha GPC in healthy adults is somewhat limited at this point in time, there is evidence of an alpha GPC increasing cognitive performance in healthy adults. For example, in a 2000 study by Trainee et al., supplementation of alpha GPC resulted in an improvement in several cognitive tests. In addition, the researchers observed an enhanced learning, memory, and attention and emphasized alpha GPC's safety and tolerability among patients. Furthermore, in a 2021 study by Galvano et al., the effects of alpha GPC on human feeling and emotions were researched. In the study, the researchers investigated changes in the subjective feeling of healthy volunteers before and after administering alpha GPC. 39 volunteers participated in a single-blind, placebo-controlled design. Participants completed a test to quantify self-reported emotional states 3 times each day for 2 weeks preceding treatment and then for a further 2 weeks while self-administering treatment. Alpha GPC treatment showed a tendency to increase motivation during the intervention period. Furthermore, motivation at night was significantly higher in the alpha GPC group than in the placebo group. These data suggest that alpha GPC can be used to increase motivation in healthy individuals. Altogether, these studies provide strong evidence for alpha GPC as an effective nootropic supplement where cognitive functioning may increase due to ingestion. While we decided to include alpha GPC in our drug, we would like to make it clear that alpha GPC has been linked to an increased risk of stroke as found in a 2021 study by Lee et al. In this cohort study, including more than 12 million individuals aged 50 years or older without underlying stroke, Alzheimer's disease, or cerebral vascular disease, alpha GPC use to offset cognitive decline was significantly associated with a 10-year incident stroke risk in a dose-responsive manner. Individuals using versus not using alpha GPC had a 46% higher risk of stroke. However, one possible reason for this is that alpha GPC increases blood levels of a chemical called TMAO, which is itself associated with a buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls. Andrew Huberman, American neuroscience and tenured associate professor in the Department of Neurobiology at the Stanford University School of Medicine, is an advocate for alpha GPC despite its potentially harmful effects. Huberman's approach to reducing his TMAO levels was to add 600 milligrams of garlic, which contains allicin, a compound that may help ease inflammation the same day as taking alpha GPC. In addition, the FDA determined that intake of no more than 196 milligrams per day per person is considered generally recognized as safe. As a result, we have also included a garlic supplement to help offset the potentially harmful effects of alpha GPC in our drug and did not exceed the FDA limit for alpha GPC in our drug.
The next nootropic supplement we included in our drug is L-theanine. So what exactly is L-theanine? L-theanine is an amino acid which are molecules that combine to form proteins and is found in green tea and mushrooms. If you're wondering how L-theanine works, I got you. L-theanine boosts brain health and function in several ways. The first way is that L-theanine reduces physical and mental stress. Previous studies have provided evidence that L-theanine significantly increases alpha brain waves. A 2021 study by Evans and colleagues reported that a single dose of L-theanine significantly increased frontal region alpha brain waves compared to a placebo in response to an acute stress challenge. Without getting too much into the science of brain waves, it is important to remember that alpha waves are associated with a relaxed brain state. As a result, these studies' findings provide evidence of a relaxing and calming response from L-theanine ingestion. This is important because under stress, the body increases the production of certain hormones, including cortisol and corticosteroid. These hormone changes inhibit some brain activity, including memory formation and spatial learning. L-theanine helps lower stress hormone corticosteroid levels and therefore would potentially help you avoid any interference with memory and learning from stress. This potential interaction effect is observed in a 2019 study by Hades et al. The study examined the possible effects of administering L-theanine on stress-related symptoms and cognitive functioning in healthy adults. In this study, the researchers administered 200 milligrams a day of doses of L-theanine for 4 weeks to the experimental group. The control group received placebo pills over the same time period. Assessments of stress and cognitive function were performed at baseline, 4, 6, and 10 weeks into the trial. The results of the study revealed that many assessments of stress, anxiety, and depression decreased in participants. In addition, after L-theanine administration, participants demonstrated improved cognitive function, verbal fluency, and executive function scores. These findings provide evidence that L-theanine has the potential to decrease stress-related symptoms and increase cognitive functioning.
As an avid coffee drinker, I'm very excited to discuss caffeine and why we put it in our drug. What is caffeine? Caffeine is a naturally occurring central nervous system stimulant. The primary goal of caffeine consumption is to counteract fatigue and drowsiness, but it is possible that there are also cognitive enhancements as well. Let's dive into the mechanisms working behind caffeine. Caffeine binds to adenosine receptors in the brain and blocks them. This prevents adenosine from activating them. Without getting too much into the science, adenosine is an organic compound. By blocking the adenosine receptors, they stimulate the central nervous system, promoting wakefulness. This process may also be responsible for improved mental performance. Previous research on caffeine has shown cognitive enhancements in people who consume coffee. Smith and Rogers measured the effects of different doses of caffeine on cognitive performance. In the study, participants completed a test battery once before and 3 times after placebo or caffeine administration. The test battery consisted of 2 performance tasks, a long duration simple reaction time task and a rapid visual information processing task. All doses of caffeine significantly affected cognitive performance, and the dose-response relations for these effects were rather flat. The effect on performance were more marked in individuals with higher level of habitual caffeine intake. Overall, the results of the study show that caffeine can significantly affect cognitive performance at doses within and even lower than the range of amounts of caffeine contained in a single serving of popular caffeine-containing drinks. Another study by Haskell, Ramsey et al. in 2018 completed a randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind study that compared the effects of regular coffee, decaffeinated coffee, and a placebo on cognition. The results showed that regular coffee produced a decrease in reaction time compared to the decaffeinated coffee and the placebo. While caffeine is a well-researched and proven cognitive enhancer, it is important to talk about some of its less desired effects. Some of the adverse effects of caffeine include anxiety, restfulness, insomnia, and muscle twitching. Consuming too much caffeine can have serious effects like hallucinations and seizures. As we know, caffeine can negatively affect your sleep and circadian rhythm. We suggest that our customers will consume their pill in the morning hours to not only wake them up, but make sure it doesn't affect their beauty sleep.
Our next nootropic supplement in our super drug is Panax quinquefolius, also known as American ginseng. What is American ginseng, you ask? Ginseng is a popular herbal root and has been used for centuries to treat mental and physical ailments. So what does prior research suggest, and how does ginseng actually work to improve cognitive function? A study by Bell et al. In 2021 investigated the effect of Cereboost, which is an American ginseng extract, on cognition and mood in healthy individuals. Effects were explored in the first 6 hours post-intervention and after 2 weeks daily consumption. Cognition and mood were measured using a variety of tasks and rating scales. The results of the study showed that Cereboost improved working memory and attention during the 6-hour period and were amplified during the 2-week period. Chronic supplementation also improved mental fatigue and self-assurance aspects of mood. These findings suggest that American ginseng has the potential to enhance cognition and mood. Are you still not convinced yet? Another study from Scully et al. Assessed the acute mood, neurocognitive, and glycemic effects of 3 doses of Cereboost. Results showed that there was a significant improvement of working memory performance associated with Cereboost. Now you'll be able to remember what you ate for breakfast. There are several possible underlying mechanisms of action that could explain the cognitive and mood changes that were observed in the current study following treatment with Cereboost. For example, as we mentioned before, acetylcholine plays an important role in the modulation of cognition, and acetylcholine-related pathways of transmission are known to be impacted by American ginseng, as it's been found in previous studies to increase acetylcholine levels. In addition, the Bell et al. Study, the researchers outlined a concurrent study they undertook that evaluated effects of repeated American ginseng administration on human gut microbiota. The results of the study suggested a possible link to alterations of the gut microbiome. Without going too much into the science, emerging research suggests that the gut microbiome may impact cognitive function and mood, in part due to the facilitation of effective digestion and metabolism of compounds in food, and this may be a mechanism in which American ginseng positively affects cognitive function. To keep it simple, the potential mechanism for why American ginseng increases cognitive performance is possibly through greater gut health and its effects of increasing acetylcholine levels. In conclusion, studies on American ginseng, caffeine, L-theanine, and alpha-GPC have shown that they have a significant effect on cognitive function. Brain games will help you get your mind right. If you want to get great results at school and work, you must try out Brain Gains. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a wonderful day.